We live in Nashville, Tennessee. We're in the car headed to the track. I got my bro, Aaron, aka Blackbeard. He's with me. I got the NASCAR legend. You know, but before we get into these questions that I want to ask my guy, Aaron, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, Handicap Sports, Blackbeard Bets on X. I always tell people my thing is I'll bet on anything. Love NASCAR though. Love NASCAR. It was really one of my first sports that I got into sports betting on. It's what I'm most passionate about. Grew up watching it. Watched it every Sunday with my dad. Been to a lot of race car tracks in the South. Love it. It's the sport that I grew up watching with my family the most, so it's naturally just become my favorite sport over the course of time.
Yep.
You know, it brings back good memories. Especially brings back good memories watching with my dad. Brings back good memories, just going to tracks with friends, even going to local tracks, just watching just the guys that want to make it. I've always loved the sport of NASCAR. It's the best. It's the best sport, Dez. It's the best sport.
Hey man, I'm here. That's why we here. I'm looking to play some bets. On today. On a couple of drivers that Aaron loves. So whatever Aaron say, that's what I'm putting my money on. So I'm with the NASCAR legend. So look, check it out. I want to get into these questions, Aaron. I gotta test your knowledge, bro.
I'm ready.
You're telling the world how much you love NASCAR. So let's see how much you really love NASCAR. All right, so I'm gonna start the questions.
Let's go.
What does NASCAR stand for?
Oh God. That's a brutal one to start off. I feel like an idiot. I know that answer. It's so simple that I don't know it. I'm not gonna be able to say it.
I'm so surprised.
I'm stumped.
Well, let me share it with you.
Yeah, tell me, because I'm gonna feel like an idiot as soon as you say
National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing.
Yes. It's too many letters. It's too many letters. They just need to shorten it somehow.
That makes sense. All right, so then we're gonna keep it moving. We're not gonna judge you off that one.
It's a warm up. All
right, question number 2. Who is the most famous driver associated with the number 3 car?
Dale Earnhardt Sr. Easily.
Yes, sir.
The Intimidator. The Intimidator.
Yes, sir.
He's not afraid to rattle your cage, as he would say.
Okay. Good job. That was easy.
Easy. That's easy. That's what you should have started off with. It's a toss-up. Softball.
Right. All right, question number 3. What is the name of the biggest and most famous NASCAR race?
Oh, Daytona 500. That's the Super Bowl. It's NASCAR is unique because they start off the season with their biggest event. Like football, their biggest event is the Super Bowl. Every player, that's ever played the game of football wants to play in the Super Bowl. Well, with NASCAR, it's different. Like everybody wants to say, I've raced at Daytona. I've raced in the 500. That's the first race they do every year. Just start off the season with a bang. It's super speedway racing. 200 miles an hour. Everybody's right on top of each other. There's always a big wreck that happens. They call it the big one. There's always a big wreck that takes out half the field every single year. But it's the best race because anybody can win it. It's one of the few tracks left, or one of the super speedways, Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta now, with some of the few tracks that are left where everybody that's out there that day has a chance. Everybody it takes, the equipment doesn't matter as much. But it's the biggest event. You start off the season with the biggest event. It's the most packed race. Everybody can't wait for it. And I think it's unique compared to other sports because it gets everybody excited right off the jump. People love, football, opening week of football, week 1 of college football because of the excitement. Right. But it'd be, I think NASCAR takes advantage of the excitement and just hits you right off the jump with just a race that's going to be fiery. Everybody wants to win. You want that on your resume. Right. Just like a football player wants a Super Bowl on their resume, Hall of Fame on their resume, things like that. If you're a NASCAR driver, winning the Daytona 500 is almost just as good as being the champion.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I got one more question. I heard you say something about like wrecks, like crashes. Like, how often is that, and why are they caused?
So,
and when a wreck happens, like, does it kill a driver's position?
oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
track position is everything in NASCAR these days. You want clean air. You want to be up front. It's hard to pass. Aerodynamics are everything in NASCAR. If you're having to fight to get through traffic, and there's different tailwinds, everything hitting you, it's really hard to pass nowadays. So if you do have a wreck, if you have a blown tire, anything like that, well, what happens is you're either out of the race because your car's too damaged, or you got to go repair it. If you got to go repair it, you're going to lose laps, and now your lap's down. So you have virtually no chance really of winning that race. Not always, but it really kills your chance to win a race if you get in a wreck. You have to try to earn those laps back. If you're not the fastest car out there, that makes it incredibly difficult, because how are you going to pass the leaders? It becomes a strategy game, and it's really difficult to come up with a strategy to gain multiple laps back throughout the rest of the race.
That's crazy.
Because there's going to be not everybody's going to wreck. So there's always going to be a leader that you're now having to catch up to. But if you get in an accident, if you get in a wreck, it makes it extremely difficult and pretty much impossible, most racetracks, to really be competitive the rest of the way in that race.
Wow. What flag is waved to signal the final lap of the race?
White flag.
Yep.
And then the race is over. The next flag that comes out after the white flag, no matter what color the flag is, the race is over.
What color flags end the race? End the race.
End the race? Checkered flag. But that's what NASCAR's unique, because when the white flag's out, if somebody, this is a little caveat, when the white flag's out, signaling it's the last lap of the race. Let's say, the leader comes around, they're getting ready to make their final lap, so they're on their last lap.
Yep.
Let's say somebody in 20th wrecks, race is over.
Wow.
So, but they did that for safety. There's been drivers die in NASCAR on the track. So years ago, they changed a lot of things to create more safety for the drivers, and that's something they created.
That's cool.
Because they don't want people getting caught up trying to chase the win, chase positions, and you get caught up in that wreck, get injured, anything like that. Not that it would happen. The cars are extremely safe, but that was a safety element that they added years ago.
I like that. Okay, I got another question. Who is Jeff Gordon?
Jeff Gordon is not my favorite driver, but he's extremely good. Jeff Gordon, so years ago, Dale Sr., a lot of people consider Dale Sr. and Jeff Gordon's rivalry, that they were the best. They were the best that the sport's ever seen. That was when the sport was very competitive.
Who you like the most?
Dale Sr.
Okay.
It's not even close. He's the intimidator. Dale Sr., the difference, Jeff Gordon would go out there and he was very good. He was extremely talented at driving a race car. Dale Sr. was more like your good old boy. He grew up, he'd fight. He wasn't trying to be your friend out there. He wanted to win the race. And not that Jeff Gordon didn't want to win the race, he just had a different mentality when he went out there. He was very passionate. He wanted to win races, and he won a lot of races. To me, he's the second best driver of all time, only behind Dale Sr. That's, and if anybody wanted to debate that, I'd love to have that debate.
I don't want to.
But to me, it's Dale Sr. than Jeff Gordon. 1 and 2.
Okay. All right. Speaking of your guy, we talked about safety earlier. So I want to ask this question. What safety feature was added after Dale Earnhardt's death?
Safety barriers. So Dale Sr., this was in the early 2000s. Dale Sr., they were at Daytona, and he was pushing for the win, and that's what he always did. And funny enough, Dale Sr. actually said, there was an interview one time where somebody asked Dale Sr., why would you want to do something that could end up killing you? He said, I ain't never wanted to do anything else. And that was before he died, obviously. But it was at Daytona, his last laps, he was pushing for the win. and he got in an accident, got spun, hit the wall head on. They didn't have safety barriers then. Safety barriers are like a cushion between the walls.
Yeah.
So when somebody hits the wall, it's not as much impact. You know, you're not hitting like a concrete wall.
Yeah.
If you hit a concrete, I mean, anybody driving their car, if you hit a concrete wall, you'll die. I mean, and cars are very safe nowadays, but you know, especially NASCAR vehicles. But yeah, I mean, he was going for the win. He got spun. He hit the wall and ended up dying there on the track. It was probably one of the craziest things that's happened in that sport. It's
on live TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to me and people in the NASCAR world. Very similar to when Kobe died, and Kobe wasn't playing when he died, but it was such a
yes.
You know, he was the greatest. Like, he was the one that everybody wanted to be, and you know, you came into the sport looking up to Dale Sr. Similar to, like, everybody wants to be Kobe. You know, you ask any basketball player if they could turn out to have the career Kobe had, that's the dream.
That's facts.
You know, Dale Sr. is the same way in the NASCAR world, where anybody that comes into the sport, if they could have the career that Dale Sr. had, they take it in a heartbeat, no questions asked. So when somebody like that dies on the biggest stage, Daytona, like we were talking about that earlier, you know, on the biggest stage, right at the start of the season, it really impacts the rest of the season. It impacts the sport. You know,
1000%.
Where you have to change things. You can't have safety be an issue. Similar to football, you know how they went through a period of time where they changed safety things. NASCAR's the same way, and you know but yeah, that was one of the big things that changed, and it needed to change. You know, just to bring more safety to the sport. You don't want people getting injured, and you definitely don't want people dying. And it was a really tragic thing that happened in the sport when it happened. But it's been a lot safer since. There's been no instances like that over 20 years now.
That's good. That's extremely good. Like I'll never forget. Like, I wasn't even like this huge NASCAR guy, but I remember watching it because, you know, my dad used to watch NASCAR, and I remember him dying, and I remember, like, it was just the world was stunned.
Yeah, sad.
Like, and you're right. It was like It was like when Kobe died.
Yeah, it was sad. I mean, it's, you know, you'll go to the race today, and you'll see more number 3 gear, Dale Sr. number 3 gear, than you'll see guys that are driving today.
Oh, I believe
and
it.
You know, it's just because he had such an impact on the sport. He was the man. Like, you know, nobody he was a man's man, loved the sport. He was you know, he said it himself. He was willing to go out doing what he loved. And you know,
respect a man like that.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was awesome. There'll never be anybody else like him.
Oh, yeah, I love that. So look, before we wrap this up, all right. So who are your top drivers you think is going to finish in the top 10? Where are you putting your money at? Because wherever you put your money, that's where I'm putting my money.
All right, so if there's one bet, if I had to pick one bet today, it's Chase Elliott, top 10.
Okay.
Chase Elliott's done well in Nashville. You know, he's done decent this season. You know, track history matters a lot. If somebody usually does good at a track, that usually translates you know, over and over and over again. It's another unique aspect of NASCAR. Some people are good at certain types of tracks, and he's been good at Nashville since they brought it back a few years ago. So yeah, I think he's starting right outside the top 10, but his practice times would have him being a top 10 car. So yeah, Chase Elliott, top 10.
Man, shit, let's go then. Oh yeah. So hey, look, Chase Elliott, we put the bag on you, bro. Let's get it. We here in Nashville, Tennessee. My guy Blackbeard with your boy X. Let's get it. Follow X Picks on X. Follow Society X Life on X. Follow Blackbeard. I'm gonna let you do that.
You can follow me. You can follow me on X, Blackbeard Bets. You know, I give out free plays. Give out free plays for all kinds of different sports. You know, it's and ask me questions. That's the thing. My DMs are always open. You know, I love answering questions. I love talking shop. So if you are interested in sports betting, if you're new to it and you just want to learn, you know, I'll try to answer any questions that I have. And If the answer is I don't know, I'll do my best to find an answer for you. So, yeah, I mean, and I can point you in the right directions. I don't know every answer. I'm by no means going to hit every single play that I give, but I'll do my best to give you the proper information that.
But we're gonna hit this Chase Elliott play.
Chase Elliott top 10. Chase Elliott top 10 is going to happen. It's going to happen. That's my guy.
One big brother. Look at all this cooking food, Cam. Look at this food, bro. Wow. I came here just like I'm from Tennessee the best way I can. Look.
Here you go.
I forgot my boots, but come on, lead the way. We got Aaron up first. I'm about to kick his ass. Oh shit! Aaron trying to cheat me on some points. About to kick his ass. Woo! 229. Oh shit. Oh my God! Did you just see that? Good game, bro.
You probably would have beat me.
Hey, I'm gonna quit fucking with Aaron, man.
For reference, like the pros throw like 100 average per 3 darts. So they got to put their own money into that car. And, that car wrecks, anything like that. It's a big paycheck, just to put another car out there. There's a lot of teams that go under because, it's just expensive. Like, you can't keep up. And it stinks that it's got that way. The technology's gotten so good to where it really comes down to how much money you can put in the car. I would bet every dollar I've ever, there's cars out there, I bet every dollar I've ever made and every dollar I will make that car will not win today. Like, it's just 0% chance. I can look at the practice times and all that and have a good idea of who's actually going to have a legit shot. Being around the NASCAR culture, being around NASCAR people, it's being around the fans, the people that are passionate about the sport. NASCAR is a very, very unique sport, but there's a lot of passion in it. People love going to the races. People bring their families to the races. It's a family outing type of thing. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing the drivers, like seeing the guys that you watch on TV and just watching them up close and personal, do what they do at the highest level, drive a rocket ship, full speed ahead, and try to win a race. That's, I think everybody loves racing. It's, even if it's just go-kart racing, everybody loves racing. It's the best.
It's my first time being at a NASCAR race, and I've always saw it on TV. I was quite nervous, but I'm not as nervous because I got my guy Aaron with me. I got the GOAT, so I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm just looking forward to Chase Elliott. I'm looking forward to Chase Elliott getting into that top 10. I might pop me a fucking Coors Light. I'm gonna have a Coors Light with my dog Aaron. We here live in Nashville, Tennessee.
See y'all at the track.
To our first NASCAR race together. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. I can't believe I'm drinking a beer. I'm doing it for the camera. For entertainment purposes only.
Back to Nashville Super Speedway.
We in Nashville. We got the race. Well, look at the people in the stands. What's up, guys? Oh yeah. Hey, what's up? Talk to him, man.
Nashville, Tennessee, watching the greatest sport on the face of the earth, NASCAR.
Let's go.
Yeah. It was one of the time.
Hey, what you say? Chase Elliott top 10?
Let's go.
Let's go. What's up, baby? How you doing?
I ain't calling, man.
Yes, sir, baby. Who you rocking with? Who you love?
Oh, Jeff Gordon all the way.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Hey, did you hear that, Aaron? He said Jeff Gordon all the way.
All the way.
Dale Jr.
Third all-time wins, 93 wins.
What about Dale Senior? Jeff Gordon wanted to be Dale Senior. Look, I'll give you this. Number 2.
Oh.
Fair deal.
What you think?
Dale.
Agree to disagree?
So you think Jeff Gordon better than Dale Senior? Appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, sir. That was a catch, man. Yes, sir. Thank you.
No, get that out of here. Michael Jordan of NASCAR. Give me Dale Earnhardt, baby. The Michael Jordan of NASCAR.
Hey, Aaron, in football, we bet on touchdowns. So tell me what the NASCAR version of that.
Winning the race. Winning the race. Touchdowns are plus money. Long odds.
Yep.
Winning the race. Long odds.
Yes, sir.
You feel good if you hit it.
Yes, sir.
That was away. That was a tie.
What y'all doing? What y'all do? What y'all look out for? Crazy.
So I'm the jack
Too
man.
crazy.
I'll make sure the car get up, stays up, make sure they index the tire before I drop it. Same thing with other songs. So nothing else can operate unless I do my job. It's not every day. Just like playing quarterback.
I'm the Richard, so I sit in the car, my job to make sure I'm behind you, make sure all of it.
How long y'all been in it?
Here, first year. Came for football.
All right. You play.
I played when I was young for a year.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's up. That's what's up. So look, we got football players out here in NASCAR. We got 3 football players out here supporting NASCAR. That's what's up, dog. I really, hey.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Turn up.
I want to tell you, I was in prison on that game against Green Bay with that catch. That was a no catch. And as much as I hate to say it, you caught the ball. But I was with 90 other men in that 3-tier cells, and that place erupted. All we could talk about for 3 days in prison was you, and that you caught that ball and how we argued, man. You had a whole prison rooting for you.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
I know that's a crazy story coming out of the blue.
But it means a lot, you know. It just goes to show you, just the support. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Believe it or not, that's what keeps me motivated. Anybody, that'll go through anything like that, that's a situation that'll naturally get you down. But when I'm out here, guys like yourself, these fans out here coming up to me telling me that's a catch, that's what keeps me happy. That's what keeps me proud. That's what keeps me moving. So I appreciate it, man. It gives me life.
And I gotta tell you, man, I think you got screwed over in a lot of ways when you came out. You know that. But I read somewhere at Walmart, you bought a bunch of people's Christmas gifts or PlayStations, and I knew you were an okay dude then, man. I knew they go out handers.
Thank you.
You're real, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That means a lot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that means a lot.
Down in the corner, right behind